Okay, we're loaded into the second game from Trizztein here in this community cast. In the top right-hand side in the red, it is our boy, the Infested Terran. It is Trizztein. And, whoop, messed that up. Okay, in the bottom left-hand side of the Internal Empire, in the blue, it is Aero. Aero. There you go, pylon at the front here. I do believe there's something really interesting about this ramp right here. You can actually block the entire front here with one gateway and one cyber and have the spot for one zealot here. It's a very tricky wall, but it's doable. It's quite crazy. Quite crazy. All right. Tristan has spotted the probe. And he's going to keep probably an Overlord at the natural here. He just wants to make sure that nothing weird is going to happen. 2 gateways straight off the bat for Aero, and he's going to want to stay aggressive on that one. Aero walking across the map here. Just going to be scouting. Does he have a pull first? Looks like no. Trizztein would never pull first. The day Trizztein pulls first is the day that he plays saxophone. I don't know. Which is not going to happen, I don't think. Anywho, 2 gateways here. That's going to be quite aggressive. I don't know if he's going to go for like double zealots here and a cyber core as well. Yeah, pretty much just 2 zealots right off the bat. He actually is delaying his cyber core. He's probably just going to rush across the map, which is kind of an unconventional build. But Trizztein is going to spot it quite quickly with this Overload, as it was sent pretty much directly across the map. And literally still no cyber core at this point. He's going to rush zealots across. What is he even doing? I don't even understand what Aero's trying to do. I feel like even silvers know how to make a cyber core. But he is going to spot it with the Overlord quite fast, and he's going to respond it at this just like that. All right, well, it's going to be a Spine and a couple of Zerglings as well. Nice defense. Got to make sure he doesn't overcommit either. So he only sees 1 extra gateway building production, so he knows that it's going to be 2 zealots plus one of another unit. Actually, this unit is probably just going to be used for the wall, so just got to make sure he doesn't overcommit to these links here. I believe 6 should be enough. He is making 4 more, though, with a lot of with Zergling speed and a Spine Crawler as well. In fact, I think a Spine with even 4 links is probably enough. Heck, a Spine with 2 lings and a Queen is probably enough as well. He is finally going back into the drones, though, but this Spine Crawler a little bit out of position, not defending his natural base, instead defending his mineral line out of the way. And those zealots are just kind of going to walk up here. Now, these pretty much these Zerglings do not have to fight until they start attacking the Queens, because the Queens can just take so many pot shots off of it. And he's going to try and get into a position. That's not going to work. And one of the zealots pretty much just die instantaneously. Yeah, he's going to be going back into the drones from there. So far, it seems the unit's lost tab, though. Hold on, where is it? Is it you? I totally forget how to do this. But anywho. Back into the game. 2 Overlords. Speed is pretty much done as well. The Nexus is being constructed, and the wall off has been completed as well. So I believe it's a slight variation on this wall where it's the cyber cores here. I believe this is actually a full wall here, and this is 1 pixel down to the right where it hugs this part of the wall, like this part of the rock, and the cyber core is here, and then you got a zealot spot right there with only 2 buildings, and it's actually crazy. It's crazy that it actually works. But hell, sentries are here. Twilight is here as well, and the drones are back on the menu, boys. 7 drones on the way, and we're going hard into the macro at this point. The 3rd is well on its way as well, and the creep doomers has been laid down as well. Seeing that Queen pretty much immediately as when that finishes, probably will be trying to go either for an inject or creep tumor. I would probably put the creep. Actually, I would probably inject first, just because the creep tumor you would want to put it when the creep is probably finished at its limit. If you put a creep tumor here, I mean, by the time the creep tumor finishes, it's not going to go much farther than when the creep actually finishes, right? So pretty much same thing. I think he's probably just going to inject from here, and he's going to start creeping all of those highways as well. Ooh, Glaives is on the way actually for Aero, and tons of gates as well. He even has a robo, so he's probably going to go for some sort of huge timing. And Trizztein has not sent an Overlord in at all. All he sees is the front, and he's going to have to deduce all of his information based off 2 gateways and like the units that he has. So he sees 2 sentries, 2 adepts. 2 adepts could start to maybe trigger a response in terms of, okay, this might be glaives. But should he make the glaives not in the vision of the Overlord, that might be a little bit tricky to actually know if that's the case. Gateways are finishing, though. Not a lot of gateways, though, to be honest. Like, he has probably... Yeah, he has money for a couple of extra gateways as well. And the glaives is finishing. The warp gate is finishing as well. The Overlord spread is trying to look everywhere across his side of the map just to make sure nothing cheeky is happening. Warp Prism is finally coming out as well. Probably going to be Chrono Boosted out. And we're going to probably see a timing attack out of Aero into Trizztein's defense. But the thing is, Trizztein, look at that. He stopped at 40 drones, and he's going to be making roaches. He knows that since there is no third base, something is definitely coming. +1, and speed is on the way as well. So I think it's going to be quite a clean defense. I'm pretty damn sure he's going to try and send those adepts across the map just for a little bit of scouting information. Yeah, I mean, he's going to scout that he's being responded to, and I mean, Aero's not going to like it because now Trizztein is insanely ahead in every single way. In fact, Aero needs to make pylons to even start warping in the units that he wants. And he's going to make a ton of adepts. He's going to walk across the map and literally walk into a wall of roaches as he did not clear these Overlords. One of the most basic things you got to teach a Protoss, definitely, especially in Diamond League. In fact, even Cytotonic knows this, is just clear the Overlords at the beginning. So Cytotonic, or me even, I would clear this Overlord by like 4 minutes, 4 minutes 15. And from there, he has no information. So anything can happen. And clearing this Overlord is super important as well. Because you got to deny information as much as possible. Well, he's actually going to spot 2 adepts, and the Lynx actually crossed it. And look at that, Trizztein with the insane vision across the map. Look at this vision right now. He's going all around. He's like, "Do you have a hidden base? Because this is not normal. You can't be this terrible." But yes, you can be this terrible. Trizztein realizes as he is on low diamond NA right now. And people are still absolutely as bad as they were in gold. This, what the? When did this come in? Somehow that sneaked into the main, but that's going to get thwarted pretty much immediately. Now, Trizztein went full on roaches. He did not stop pressing that R button. Rightfully so, because there is no use in actually going for that for a ton of drones if your opponent has no bases. So fair enough. Boom in the chat as well. Pog champ, please. And Boom, can I get some dabs as well? That would be fantastic. Thank you. All right, well, Aero's kind of screwed here at this point because... Actually, no, he's not. He still has the Warp Prism with the Adepts inside here. And he can pick them up at any time. He has no reason losing this. He actually probably will lose a couple of these. Going to shade into the natural. Roaches are waiting for him. He's been waiting for you this whole time. It's like that. It's like that part in the movie where like the main like protagonist got outsmarted by the villain, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna hide from him," and then he shows up in a random place, and he's like, "I was always here," and then he gets screwed. But in true protagonist fashion, can Aero actually make it back at this point? He does have Immortal. He has Immortals. He has some Force Fields. Okay, there's like potential. He would have to play amazing if he wants to actually defend his base right here. But the thing that he would need is definitely 100% Storm. That is the comeback mechanic right now. That is the comeback mechanic. Or maybe Disruptors. I do like Disruptors a little bit more versus Roaches. Obviously, the Storms are a little bit better versus the Hydras. But I mean... generally, anything off creep, just Disruptors would be fantastic. And, you know, the army is starting to look kind of not bad for Aero. Aero, though, kind of Force Fields right now. Going to get broken quite fast. He's going to have to recast them very soon. Shield Batteries very close to finishing. Nice dodges on the Biles. And Trizztein is kind of having trouble walking into here. He's actually walling in most of the army with him, which is not great. Warping in units from the back here, and those Immortals still doing work at this point. He needs more Immortals to join up this fight. But I mean, I think Trizztein's got this. He's actually walking in here, target firing the Immortals. Ooh, that one actually gets saved by the shield battery. I don't know if he can actually pierce this anymore. And Aero has actually defended for now. Trizztein staying on that amount of drones, and I'm completely fine with this as well. He just has to reinforce with a lot of lings, as now he realizes, well, he's actually not even making zealots anymore. He's all out of zealots. It's only things that are weak to the zerglings. So I would love to see tons of drones, tons of zerglings, and keeping up the pressure at this point. The gas can definitely go somewhere else. Nobody cares. Ooh, the Warp Prism into the main, though. Nice target fire with the Queen onto the Warp Prism. You never want to stop target firing that, ever. And then, actually, the Spine Crawler has been moved into the main, which helps with the defense quite a bit. Very clean defense by Trizztein. I do like it. But now it might actually go into the third base. No, Spine Crawler with some roaches as well. And that Queen actually snipes it off. And that is done for the Warp Prism. And, I mean, Aero does not have the money to actually rebuild that one. That's 250 minerals. He barely has the minerals to make probes at this point. In fact, he will still dump 300 full minerals into these stationary cannons. Giant IQ by Aero, but you know what? These Archons might actually be really good versus these Zerglings. There are no Banelings in the mix as well, and Trizztein is just trying to drone up at this point. The thing is, he's making a lot of static defense as well, just to make sure that he's safe, which means that he has to build even more drones, because they cost drones. So the more static defense you make, obviously the less army you have, because you have to remake even more drones than you normally need at that point. High Templar are coming in here, though, coming in hot with a lot more Archons, and he needs to keep at it with these Immortals as well. More Immortals on the way, +1 on the way as well. 7 drones. And actually, he's going to go up to like an 80 drone count right now. That's going to be quite insane. And from here, I expect pretty much nothing but units. And I believe that he's going to be able to end this game quite soon. If he has the proper army, though. That's the thing. You definitely need quite a few Banelings, quite a few Ravagers as well. Just got to make sure you control that entire fight. And now that the Zealots are actually coming into the army, he's going to have to go back into a couple of Banelings just to be able to clear those as best as possible. He's going back into the Roaches. But the Roaches obviously fall off over time. He's going to have to figure out some sort of higher tech, either Hydras, Lurkers, or he's going to have to like really max out and really take it to his opponent. Oh, man, okay. Well, these Archons are doing work at this point, and, I mean, the army from Aero is really, really strong, and Trizztein right now has a lot of drones, but his army does not fare well versus this. He has a lot of Ravagers, a lot of Roaches, but he's going to need to get into something a little bit sturdy, and he has to make sure that his upgrades are on point, too. But look at the upgrade count. Hold on. Can we actually see? Wait, hold on. Okay, he does have +2 attack, but he's going to need a little bit more if he wants to actually beat him in this game. He does have the Hydra Den. He can actually go into Hydras, which would be not bad, especially considering that there isn't actually any storms available. Not that he knows that, but still, he does realize that all of the High Templar have been turned into Archons at this point. Small Zealot counterattack here. I do believe he's going to be able to defend this, and he has to make sure that his creep spread starts to get a little bit forward as well. He does realize that Zealots are counterattacking at this point. He's making tons of Spine Crawlers, which is completely fine, like knowing that he a little bit over-droned here, so I wouldn't mind this going down because that means his army is going to be that much bigger at this point. There you go, taking care of that Zealot counterattack as well. And what is the next phase for Trizztein? He's maxed out, but what is he going to do? Does he attack? Does he tech up? He's kind of just walking around with a maxed out army. And he's going to get counterattacked completely as he uses his whole army to try and defend that part of the map. The creep spread, though, not quite far enough. He's going to spot this army a little bit late. He's scrambling to try and run back across the entire, from the left side to the right side of the map. All in the meantime, though, he'd actually spot this 4th base out of Aero. But can he actually beat this army? I'm really not sure about that one. He better have one of the best remaxes ever, and he has to kite as best as he possibly can. He needs a lot more Ravagers if he wants to actually... Oh, no. He walks in way too close for those Biles. Those Biles were very greedy, and that makes his army... That just makes his army, like, just completely walk way too close, gets force fielded down to ramp, and he loses a big chunk of his army. He needs more Biles to be able to control this army. Right now, he's trying to buy as much time as he can to whip out like 24 Hydras right now. And despite 24 Hydras, he still has quite the bank, so I do like this. The rallies of the Roaches, again, they are not in the right spot. He has to defend the high ground, though, at this point. And can he defend correctly? Looks like he is going to be getting into a really nice position. That's a force field and a half right there on the ramp, and that's going to be done. And the rally on the Hydras once again not attacking. Has to be very careful with that. And now that he's actually decided to walk up his main base, that's a free ticket to Force Field Town right there. Counterattack from the left side from the Zealots. Now this is where the Spawn Controls actually do come really handy at this point. Trying to use Drop Overlords, I do believe, to try and walk down this ramp. That's going to be a little bit difficult, though. Another part of the army here just waiting to sandwich. And he actually did take another base all in the meantime. Trizztein actually does decide to GG, and that's unfortunate.